That peculiar ache of being misunderstood resonates through every human heart. You share your deepest thoughts only to receive blank stares, express your authentic feelings only to be dismissed as too sensitive, or reveal your true passions only to watch others' eyes glaze over with disinterest. This isn't just occasional miscommunication, it's a fundamental aspect of the human experience. Jung observed something profound about this universal feeling. Each person carries within them an entire universe of thoughts, feelings, and experiences that can never be fully translated to others. Your inner world is uniquely yours, shaped by personal experiences, dreams, fears, and aspirations that no one else can fully grasp. This individuality isn't a flaw, it's the very essence of what makes you human. A vast chasm exists between how you experience yourself and how others perceive you. Inside, you might feel the weight of existential questions, the depth of your emotions, or the complexity of your thoughts. Yet others often see only the surface, interpreting your depth through their own limited lens. It's like trying to explain colors to someone who's never seen them. The experience remains uniquely yours. When you choose to express your authentic self, something paradoxical happens. The very qualities that make you unique, your depth of thought, intensity of feeling, or breadth of perspective, can create distance from others. Many retreat from depth, preferring comfortable superficiality to the challenge of understanding someone who thinks and feels deeply. This often leaves authentic individuals in a peculiar position. The more truly they express themselves, the more they might find themselves standing apart. Yet this experience of being misunderstood isn't just a burden, it's often the first step towards something profound. As we explore the deeper patterns that create this disconnect, you'll discover why being understood by everyone might actually be less valuable than being deeply understood by a few. Section 1, The Inner World Versus. Deep within your psyche lies a force pushing you toward individuation, the process of becoming uniquely yourself. Like a seed programmed to grow into a specific flower, your psyche contains a blueprint for your authentic development. This isn't just personal growth, it's a fundamental psychological process that often sets you apart from the collective. You feel it in those moments when your natural responses differ from what others expect, when your perspectives challenge group norms, or when your interests draw blank stares from those around you. This inner drive toward authenticity frequently collides with society's expectations. They say conformity is the glue that holds society together, but this creates an impossible situation for deeper souls. The collective unconsciously demands standardization, shared beliefs, common behaviors, acceptable ways of thinking and feeling. You felt this pressure since childhood, subtle disapproval when you think too deeply, gentle corrections when you feel too intensely, quiet dismissal when you question too thoroughly. Society rewards those who fit within its predetermined boxes while often pathologizing those who don't. This creates a profound tension in those driven toward authentic self-expression. The battle between belonging and authenticity shapes your daily experience. You feel it in social situations where you must choose between expressing your true thoughts or maintaining comfortable harmony. In professional environments where depth might be seen as disruption. In relationships where your natural intensity might overwhelm others. This isn't just social awkwardness, it's the fundamental tension between individual development and collective acceptance. Your psyche pushes you toward differentiation while society pulls you toward sameness. You've noticed how developing your authentic self often creates natural distance from others. As you delve deeper into your unique interests, perspectives, and ways of being, you find fewer people who can truly follow you into these depths. This isn't because you're superior or others are shallow, it's because authentic development naturally leads to specialization of consciousness. Like a tree growing taller than the surrounding forest, your growth toward authenticity inevitably creates a certain solitude. This distance isn't a failure of connection but a natural consequence of individual development. The depth you carry creates distance through multiple mechanisms. Your capacity for complex thought makes casual conversation feel superficial. Your emotional sensitivity makes others uncomfortable with their own unexplored feelings. Your drive for meaning challenges others' comfortable assumptions. They often retreat from this intensity, preferring the safety of surface-level interaction. Yet this distance serves a purpose. It creates the space necessary for your continued development, pushing you toward those rare individuals who can meet you at your depth. As we explore the specific barriers to understanding, you'll discover why this natural separation might be essential for your psychological development. Section 2: The Barriers to Understanding. Imagine speaking a language only you understand. That's often how it feels when you try to communicate your inner world to others. But the real barrier isn't language, it's projection. When you express a deep thought or complex emotion, others don't hear what you're actually saying. Instead, they interpret your words through the filter of their own experiences, fears, and limitations. Your expression of depth might trigger their insecurities. Your comfort with complexity might activate their fear of uncertainty. They're not really seeing you, they're seeing their own reflection in the mirror of your authenticity. The persona, that social mask we wear, creates another layer of disconnection. They craft their personas to fit social expectations, presenting a carefully curated version of themselves to the world. You might do this too, but deep individuals often struggle with this social performance. Your authentic self keeps bleeding through, creating dissonance in social situations where others maintain their comfortable masks. This mismatch between genuine expression and social pretense creates a peculiar loneliness. You see through the masks but must often pretend you don't to maintain social harmony. Shadow aspects cast long darkness over understanding. When you express qualities others have repressed in themselves, emotional depth, intellectual curiosity, spiritual seeking, you become a mirror reflecting their unlived potential. This triggers unconscious defensive reactions. Your comfort with complexity highlights their avoidance of depth. Your emotional intelligence exposes their disconnection from feelings. Your search for meaning challenges their settled certainties. They might reject or dismiss you not because of who you are, but because of what you activate in their own shadow. Fear runs deeper than most realize. Your capacity for depth often triggers existential anxiety in others. When you raise questions about meaning, purpose, or authentic living, you're unknowingly challenging the defensive structures others have built to avoid these very questions. Your comfort with uncertainty threatens their need for stable answers. Your willingness to explore the unknown activates their fear of what lies beneath their conscious awareness. This fear creates an invisible wall. They'll engage with you on surface levels but retreat when conversation turns toward depth. Different psychological types create fundamental communication gaps. Your natural way of processing information, making decisions, and experiencing the world might be radically different from those around you. An intuitive type diving into abstract possibilities frustrates sensing types who prefer concrete facts. A feeling type expressing emotional nuance overwhelms thinking types seeking logical clarity. These aren't just personality differences, they're fundamental variations in how humans process reality. Understanding this helps explain why even your clearest expressions might miss their mark with certain people. As we explore paths forward, you'll discover how to navigate these barriers without compromising your authentic expression. Section 3: The Path of the Individual. Standing apart from the crowd isn't a curse, it's a calling. Your unique way of experiencing and interpreting the world serves a deeper purpose. Think of how throughout history, individuals who transformed society often began as outsiders. Your depth of perception, sensitivity to meaning, and capacity for complex thought aren't random traits, they're tools for perceiving and creating something new. The path of individuation requires courage to trust these unique qualities, even when they set you apart from others. This isn't about superiority but about authenticity, about allowing yourself to grow in the direction your psyche naturally tends. They say resonance happens at the meeting of authentic frequencies. When you stop trying to translate yourself into simpler terms to be understood, something remarkable occurs. You begin attracting those who naturally speak your language. These connections might be rarer, but they run deeper. Look for the others who light up at complex ideas, who aren't afraid of emotional depth, who find beauty in the questions themselves. Your tribe exists, but they won't be found in obvious places. They're often the other quiet ones, the observers, the ones also walking their own unique paths. Being misunderstood carries hidden gifts. It forces you to develop internal validation rather than depending on external approval. Your repeated experience of having deeper perceptions overlooked builds resilience and self-trust. The solitude that comes from being different creates space for developing your unique insights. Think of how pressure creates diamonds. The very resistance you face in being understood shapes your consciousness in valuable ways. This isn't just philosophical comfort, it's practical truth. Your capacity to think differently, feel deeply, and see what others miss becomes your unique contribution to the world. Solitude and connection weave together in the life of a deep individual. You've learned that meaningful solitude isn't isolation, it's the space where your unique perceptions can fully flower. This alternating rhythm between solitude and connection becomes crucial. Time alone allows you to maintain contact with your depth without constant pressure to translate it for others. Yet connection, especially with kindred spirits, prevents solitude from becoming stagnation. The key lies in finding your natural rhythm between these poles, recognizing that both serve your development. The path forward isn't about choosing between authenticity and adaptation but about mastering their dance. You can learn to modulate your expression without compromising your essence. Think of it as being multilingual. You maintain your native language of depth while learning to communicate effectively in simpler terms when needed. This isn't betraying your authenticity but expanding your range. Some conversations require your full complexity, others need just your conclusions. Some relationships can hold your full depth, others function best at the surface. Wisdom lies in discerning which is which, and maintaining your center regardless. The journey of being deeply yourself while navigating a world that often prefers simplicity isn't easy, but it's profoundly worthwhile. Your unique way of being enriches the human tapestry, even when it's not fully understood. In embracing this path, you join a lineage of individuals who've helped humanity evolve by daring to be different.